From the ReliefFactor.com studios, here's Mike Gallagher.
Gosh, we are surrounded by such insanity. I got into a big conversation with a friend of mine about the movie The Exorcist. He read a book about the making of The Exorcist, and he was asking me, what do you think of that? I said, well, hey, I think evil's all around us. I think they're examples of Satan on a minute-by-minute basis, but I don't know if it's just evil or lunacy. Maybe it's a little bit of both. You see the Chicago City Council passed a resolution calling for a ceasefire, not in crime-ravaged Chicago, but in Gaza. I'm not kidding you. These are lunatics. These aren't serious people. Democrats aren't serious people. We got illegals beating cops in the streets of New York, and they took those punks and they released them immediately. They arrested them for brutally beating NYPD cops, and then they let them go. No bail. It's George Soros's America. I'm going to stop saying Biden's America. It's George Soros's America. Because George Soros saw to it that a bunch of radical, whack job prosecutors and district attorneys have littered the United States with their presence, and they are weaponizing courts in order to, achieve an agenda. An ideological agenda. Elon Musk gets his pay package overturned by a judge in Delaware because now the left doesn't like Elon Musk. 80% of the shareholders of Tesla and the board of directors all approved the billions of dollars that Elon Musk makes. A judge in Delaware said, nope, it's too much money. He can't make that much. Elon Musk, incidentally, isn't going to roll over. He's like, fine, you know what we're going to do? We're going to move out of Delaware, where all these big corporations are headquartered for any of the tax benefits or whatever. We're going to take the whole 9 yards and pull up stakes and leave Delaware and go to Texas, where undoubtedly he wouldn't be treated that way. And of course, today could be the day that Trump gets his whole business empire destroyed by a judge in New York. Because he can, because the judge can. Is this evil or lunacy? Are these just lunatics, or are these deeply disturbing, diabolical people? May I please humbly suggest, stop worrying about Taylor Swift and worry about the things that matter. Things that matter. Taylor Swift doesn't matter. It's fun to talk about, I don't know, is she a psyop, blah, blah, blah. I mean, who cares? You know what ought to matter? 11 pro-life warriors 6 pro-life warriors facing up to 11 years in prison for praying and singing outside an abortion clinic. They might spend the rest of their life, some of them are older, in jail. For what? For protesting abortion. And yet there wasn't a single arrest made of anybody outside the Supreme Court justices' homes, screaming and banging drums and demonstrating, which is a federal crime. You can't do it. You're not allowed to do it. It's against the law. Nobody even got arrested. Biden saw to it that nobody got arrested. But now pro-lifers face years in jail. Donald Trump faces his business empire being decimated, just completely obliterated by a radical, foaming at the mouth, Trump-hating judge in New York City, just like the foaming at the mouth judge that presided over E. Jean Carroll getting her ridiculous $83 million. I mean, I don't think it's just insanity. I don't think it's just goofiness. I don't think the Chicago City Council, and by the way, the mayor made 2 of the people on the council who were going to vote no take a hike. He had them leave the vote because it was deadlocked, and the 2 that were going to vote no were ordered to leave by the mayor, and then the mayor cast the tie-breaking vote in favor of calling for a ceasefire against Israel. Against Israel, because lunatics like the mayor of Chicago think that Israel is the bad guy. And it's not, I'm telling you, I don't think it's just screwballs. These are real evil people. My conversation with Mark Davis about The Exorcist this morning just has evil on my mind right now. I think it really is seeing evil manifest itself. If you think Israel's the bad guy after the horrible massacre at the hands of these bloodthirsty, evil terrorists, if you think Israel is somehow to blame, that's not lunacy. That's sheer evil. If you are okay with people beating police officers and not being punished for it, that's evil. If you think the guy who's likely going to be reelected president should be bankrupted and destroyed financially and incarcerated because Democrats don't like him, that's evil. I think we need a absolute revival in this country. We got to have a return to the things that matter. And you know what matters? God, the Bible, faith. You know, I don't host a Christian talk show. I have a secular news talk show, and I am a Christian, and I'm allowed to express my faith whenever I want, thanks to the company I work for. I don't want to get, I don't want you to feel like this is turning into the 700 Club. But this is the stakes are high. And what we're facing is real here. The evil we're facing is very real. Let me ask you, let me put that question to you. Do you believe that all these things I just demonstrated, all these things, examples I gave you, are those just goofy, crazy, lunatic, wacko people? Or are they fueled by nefarious, dark, insidious evil? I've asked this question before, and I want to flesh it out with you, the smartest audience in America. Flood my phone lines with your calls at 800-655-MIKE. I want to see every phone line lighting up with an answer to my question. Do you think these are just lunatics? These are just crazy people? They're just kind of psychotic? Or do you think they're evil? Do you think this is an evil, inspired reality that we're facing right now in the United States of America? And do you agree with me that we desperately need a return to God, to the Bible, to our faith? Because we're in trouble. We're in big trouble.